Hey class, this is just a quick 5-minute video that'll guide you through the homework and teach you how to start using our class survey data and some of these statistical tools that we'll be talking about in this unit, specifically the histogram. Let's just jump into it. I have here our assignment open. Okay, this is the assignment that's due next class. And you want to click this link here, okay, to get started. It'll bring you to this sheet. And okay, this sheet is basically going to be the sheet that we're going to be working with for the next couple of classes. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is to go to File, Make a Copy. You can't edit the version that I have, but once you make a copy, you'll be able to edit it. Okay. Now, everything on this particular assignment, every question on this particular assignment can be answered using just this sum stats sheet here, okay, in addition to, of course, the sheets that have the data in them, okay. If you look down below here, you'll see that this first sheet is the data from our class survey. Then I have 3 sheets down here, sum stats, scatter, and pivot table. Again, today we're only going to use this first one, okay. And then you can see I have this beyond that, I have some other data as well, okay? These are just some additional data sets that we may choose to examine. Okay, so if we go into, let's actually have a look at this first question here. Okay, question 11, how old is the youngest person in our class? Okay, so let me show you guys how to answer that. So now, obviously, you could just kind of look through the data and determine what's the youngest person. Okay, but we want to learn how to use this tool. So I am going to go over here to our class survey data, and I'm going to look for the column which is relevant. And in this case, of course, it's age. Okay, our first column here, age. And what I want to do, the way that you use this sheet, okay, is to basically take data from a given column and copy it into this column C here. Okay. Now, it's very important when you do this to clear whatever you have beforehand. Okay. Don't just copy it over and then paste. The reason for that is there might still be some data left over in this column. Okay, from whatever thing you were previously looking at. Okay, so first I'm going to select column C. You can select a whole column just by clicking the header up here. Okay, so I'm going to click C, and then I'm going to press delete. Okay, that'll completely clear the column. Then what you want to do is you want to take the variable that you want to examine, so in this case age, and copy it. Okay, so I'm going to press Control C on my keyboard. On a Mac it would be Command C. I'm going to go over here to sum stats. I'm going to select this first cell here, and then I'm going to paste. Okay, and what you'll find is that once you paste that data in, basically all of the things here will automatically update. Okay, okay, so what is there to look at here? Okay, so there's a couple of things that I will draw your attention to. Okay, the first are these 4 statistics here, these summary statistics. Let me actually zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little better. Okay, have a look at these summary statistics up here. Okay, so n-obs, this is simply the number of observations for the variable in question. So in this case, 73 people took our class survey, so we have 73 observations. The minimum and maximum values are simply, or what they sound like, the largest and smallest values that appear in the data set. Okay, so this can be used to answer our first question. The youngest person in our class is 18 years old. This mean, okay, that's the average across the whole sample. That may also come in handy. Okay, these other terms, the median, the variance, and the standard deviation, you may have heard of these before, but we'll talk about these in more detail next class. Okay, for this assignment, you shouldn't need more than these first 4. Below this is a histogram. Okay, so we spent today's lecture talking about these histograms. How do you actually generate a histogram? Well, here, you can use this tool right here. Okay, and for example here you can see, okay, you can see basically right now it's displaying a histogram that's showing how age in our class is distributed. Okay, and you can see here, so for example here are the people who are 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay. Okay, let's look at one more variable just to make sure that we have the hang of it. Okay, so let's actually look at one of these other data sets. I don't know. Let's look at this wage survey here. Okay, so this was a survey given of a bunch of people's wages. Okay, and you can see in this first column I have their earnings. Okay, expressed as dollars per month. Okay, and so so I'm gonna take. Let's say that I wanted to get a histogram for this wage variable. How is people's incomes in this survey distributed? Okay, well that's easy to do. I'm gonna take this column. Okay, copy it. I'm gonna go back to my SumStat sheet. Now remember to clear the original column first. Then I'm gonna paste in this wage data. Okay, and lo and behold, everything updates, and I get my histogram for a wage in this particular data set. Okay, I also can see, for example, the number of observations here, the minimum and maximum wage. So apparently the richest person in this data set is making $3,000 a month. Okay, and then I can look at this histogram, and actually there's a question on the assignment that asks you, well, what distribution does this histogram correspond to? Is it a normal? Is it a log normal, etc.? Okay, so refer back to our class notes on how to answer that. Okay, this video is just designed to show you how to use this spreadsheet. Okay. All right. So I hope y'all have a good time and good luck with this assignment.